everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today. So today you can see that I'm going to be unpacking some of the terminology when it comes to e-learning. I know that there are a lot of different terms out there which can be quite confusing. So if you're interested in this topic, then please keep on watching. Okay, so today I'm going to be unpacking some of the terminology that we've been using since the global pandemic. And a lot of these terms have actually evolved over the last year. So the definitions of them previous to the global pandemic may have actually been slightly different. So I wanted to go over some of these words that are commonly used. Now I need to just move myself out of the way so that you can see the words that I'm going to be talking about today. So first of all, e-learning, which is like the big blanket umbrella term for any learning that uses technology. E stands for electronic, so it's any kind of electronic learning. And traditionally, before the global pandemic, e-learning actually referred to only online learning, like say distance learning courses. But now I think the term actually encompasses any type of learning that involves digital tools and any technology. And then under that umbrella, within that set of e-learning, we're blended learning, which has been thrown around a lot, this term, and this term has actually evolved. So if you do look up the internet and you look up past research papers from 5 years ago, from 10 years ago, the actual definition is used very, very differently to how it is interpreted now during this global pandemic. So I want to focus on these points of what blended learning is. It's a learner-centered approach. It incorporates both face-to-face, and face-to-face could be virtual or in-person, synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous could be online or offline. Learning that engages and motivates our students. Blended learning also maintains connections between learners while promoting that very important skill of collaboration, critical and conceptual thinking. So we've kind of added a more sophisticated layer to that definition of blended learning in that it takes the best of all of the research and different approaches when it comes to online learning and offline learning and synchronous and asynchronous learning, and it finds the right balance between the two. Now, hybrid learning, concurrent learning, I think are the same, and that's what a lot of us are actually doing now. So hybrid learning, concurrent learning is synchronous learning that teaches both in-person and online virtual learners simultaneously. So you might be in a lesson and some of your students are at home because they're not able to attend school, and some of the students are actually in front of you. So a lot of schools are calling that hybrid concurrent learning. And you may be offering asynchronous learning opportunities as part of a hybrid learning program or model. So of course, we want to utilize that affordance of asynchronous learning where students are given their own agency and choice, and they can actually drive the direction of their learning. So we still include asynchronous learning opportunities. And you also may have heard of this term, high flex. So high flex learning is basically hybrid learning, but there's just more flexibility where learners can actually have a choice of whether to learn in person in front of you or virtually online. Lastly, I want to just stress what blended learning has evolved into. A blended learning approach provides learners with an integrated, connected, and coherent pathway to learn that utilizes the affordances of the e-learning ecology and is more effective than utilizing synchronous or asynchronous or online, offline alone. So just to emphasize that blended learning really utilizes the best of both worlds and different approaches when it comes to online, offline learning and synchronous and asynchronous learning. So I hope that's unpacked some of the terms that have been used at the moment. And remember, these terms have evolved. So if you do look up these terms from 5 years ago, they actually have a very different meaning to how they are actually used now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section below. And thank you so much for joining me again this week. And I hope to see you next week. Stay safe, everyone. Take care and bye.